Investors, welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. I'm your host, Trevor, and we are here for Friday's daily talk of stock. And what a fantastic Friday it was in the market, continuing the rally we have seen since the government shutdown. So a very bullish day within the markets. The markets today rallying from the fact that the government is shut down and the fact that the government did not need to provide the Bureau of Labor Statistic reports to the Federal Reserve. So the market's celebrating because of this, because the main narrative right now, and what has really been the main narrative throughout the entire year, but right now the markets are hyper focused on this, and that is the Federal Reserve and what they are going to do at their next meeting, which is projected in 25 days. So right now we have a 94% chance that the Federal Reserve once again cuts rates. And so with the numbers around employment not being released today, this is a positive because the Fed has already put themselves in the position where they said that they will cut more times this year. But we also know that the Fed is data dependent. So them not having the ability to get into the numbers right now, well, they're in a pickle because they have already appeared dovish. And now if they change course, this could be really bad for the markets, and they can't really change course if they don't have the statistics to prove that they need to change course. So the markets are rallying right now because of this. This is exactly on this channel what we have been anticipating from the government shutdown. As I said, I thought this week would be a little bit bloody Monday and Tuesday, which it was. And then on Wednesday, when the government shutdown did happen, that the markets would pop up. And it is for this exact reason. And so right now, risk assets are doing tremendous within the markets. We're going to talk about a couple of different risk assets today. We're going to be covering QBTS, so quantum computing. We're then going to be getting into AMD stock, and we're going to be finishing with HIMS and HERS Health. But I want to start out here with D-Wave Quantum because what a ride it has been this year with QBTS. It is insane because back in, when was this? This was April. Back in April, I made this video that QBTS stock and quantum computing will 10x and that there is a bullish trend building within D-Wave and the entire quantum sector. And what is insane is when you look at this video right here, the price was sitting at $6.24. This is when I said that QBTS will 10x. And well, when we look at the price now, we are sitting at 32.78. So a 5x. And everybody, this is just from April earlier this year. So we have had a 5x from that point, and that is just from 624. QBTS was already ripping before that. Since the tail end of 2024, quantum has been absolutely insane. So to all my quantum investors out there, congratulations, because this is absolutely euphoric to see D-Wave at $32 at an all-time high, new price discovery. And in just yesterday's video, when we were talking about QBTS, we said that this may happen because despite being a bit overvalued on the relative strength index and on the MACD, the macros are supporting that the markets should continue to push up. And that is exactly what we saw in D-Wave today. We did see a gap up to the newest, highest level that we have seen on the chart. So now we are at levels of price discovery. We do not know where the resistance sits right now. Currently, I guess you could say it sits right here at $32, but I do believe that QBTS will break through this level because there is a lot of fear of missing out in the entire quantum sector right now, not just in QBTS, but in the entire sector. I mean, we see Rigetti also at all-time highs, and the whole sector is just going crazy. And when we look at QBTS, the growth we have seen this year has been tremendous because when I did make this video all the way back in April, QBTS still had a market cap that was relatively small, either just at 1 million or 2 million. Now we are getting to medium market cap range, about to tap right into the $10 billion mark for market cap with QBTS. And the shorts have to be very upset because what is so funny with QBTS, when we were covering this all the way back in April when the price was just at $6, we were talking about the significantly high short interest, which was in this play at the time. I believe it was around 21 to 23%. And now we could see that it is still at 19%. So there's been a lot of shorts against quantum this year, probably because they were looking in the rear view mirror. They were looking at the past history with these quantum plays. They were looking at the historically bad earnings, the historically low revenues, but that was the past for all these quantum plays, because really the reason why we have been so bullish this year is because of all that has happened within the quantum sector this year. A lot of breakthroughs. The last 20 years have been a lot of research and development, but so much has happened this year. QBTS, our favorite quantum computing play, for the reason of them working with so many different with so many different corporations. Their customer acquisition has been tremendous this year. It has gone up 500% year to date, and we are seeing this company also make the most revenue that they have ever made, and investors are very excited about this. So QBTS and the entire quantum sector has ran like crazy, and a bear may see this and think that we will see a bloody drop off just because of how much return there has been this last year. Over 2,000% return on investment for anybody who got in early enough. But I would argue against those bears, saying that they are missing the bigger picture, which is the world in which we are developing into, which is all around technology, computing, AI, and quantum fits perfectly into this future. So again, the trend in QBTS this last year and all of quantum has been crazy. It has also been very predictable because we have been in these rising levels of support and resistance, and now at this highest level here. So again, congratulations to all my investors in quantum computing. I am not just in QBTS, but I am also in this play, which is QUBT. And I do believe that this quantum play right here is still undervalued, and we should see a big explosion in this play very soon, because we are seeing a lot of volume within quantum right now. Definitely the hottest sector right now. And with QUBT, this is another hot quantum play, but still has yet to reach its top, which was set in December. So different from all these other quantum plays, because when we look at Rigetti or QBTS, for example, they are a lot higher than they were last year in December. So QUBT still recovering from that drop off in the early part of the year. And there's a lot of true intrinsic value with this play. They have a photonic chip foundry. They have a photonic chip foundry out here in Tempe, Arizona, and their revenue is expected to accelerate in 2026. So very excited for QUBT, for QBTS, and for the entire quantum sector. Now we're going to get into our next stock, which is also all around technology, and they play a big role in technology because, of course, with all these different GPUs, you're going to need powerful chips to run those systems. That's exactly what AMD does. Many compare this play to NVIDIA. They are not quite as large as NVIDIA, but right around the same sector, around the AI chips. So AMD has a lot of true intrinsic value with this company, and some like to joke about it, calling it the automatic money doubler, and others like to joke about it being the automatic money destroyer, because through the year it has been a bleed, but we have had a quick recovery and we are on this uptrend in AMD. Their next earnings is expected to be their largest ever at 8.72 billion. So that is what Wall Street is expecting. This is going to be in 25 days. So I do expect for things in AMD to get crazy. And then when we just look at technical analysis, this play right here recently has had a bullish cross on the MACD. We are still right in the middle on the relative strength index. And in general, we have been in this uptrend in AMD since April, but we have went a bit sideways in the short term. So I do believe that AMD could easily return back to this trend, and I do believe that the next earnings report in AMD is going to be massive. And again, when we just look at overall market sentiment and what investors are really looking at right now, it is all these quantum plays, it is all these AI plays these data center plays, and the largest company in the world right now is NVIDIA. Of course, they have a much larger market cap than AMD, but with this situation, you could think about the whole sector rising together. So a lot of investors within NVIDIA, AMD second to NVIDIA. I am personally invested into AMD because I think we have a lot higher to run, because again, we have all these data centers being built. Technology is growing every day, many more GPUs coming in the future, many more gaming systems, and AMD is going to continue to play a role in that future, just like NVIDIA. So these AI chip companies have a lot of true value within them, and AMD, another play which is still not as high as it was last year in February. So it has been quite the bleed for investors that have been in AMD since last February, and that is despite the amazing fundamentals that are within AMD. So this company has a positive earnings per share. They have a decent price to sales ratio, a bit high, but they have a $267 billion market cap. So a lot of investors within the company, and things have been very positive. We have seen accelerating earnings. And so I do believe that this play right now is undervalued. AMD, a true growth opportunity. If you were going to hold this for the long term, you could see some really great return on investment. And as many of you know, I am a leverage investor, so I do like to be able to make more for my buck, try to make as much return as possible. And I am looking at AMDL. So every 1% that AMD goes up, this goes up by 2%. Very exciting times that we are living through right now. I expect Q4 of the markets to be massive. And in general, when we do just look at the earnings calendar, we are in the middle of the tech earnings season. So right now, going into the third week of October, things could start to get crazy with Tesla reporting, IBM, and then the following week, we have, of course, AMD kicking things off. On that Tuesday, we have SoFi, we have Visa, we have I'm about to say MicroStrategy, Microsoft, but we do have MicroStrategy on that day also, Coinbase, Meta. So it is tech earnings here at the end of October, and macro sentiment right now is very positive. I believe that October is going to be a massive month for the markets. We are going into a larger cycle of quantitative easing. The Fed has already shown their hands by cutting rates last month and saying that they will cut more. And now that they can't get their hands on the data to change their mind otherwise, the direction to me is clear, which the direction is towards the bullish side. And so now we're going to hop into our last stock, which did have a bearish day today. It did drop by 9%. That is HIMS and Hers Health, currently sitting at $53. So HIMS and Hers Health, another play that has a significantly high short interest. So just like QBTS, what got us so bullish on the company at the early part of the year was that the company is a real company with true intrinsic value. The same is to be said with HIMS and Hers Health. And just like QBTS, well, they have a significantly high short interest, even higher than QBTS. So we could really see a squeeze in HIMS and Hers Health because we have a short interest at 32% right now. And so today, a bit of a short attack on HIMS and Hers Health. The shorts are probably happy today, but I don't think that they will be happy for very long because I do believe that this company is unfairly shorted, and HIMS and Hers Health has a very bright future ahead. Just when we talk about how they are performing when it comes to earnings, this is another company that is true value. They have had accelerating earnings. They also have a positive balance sheet, and this company is always innovating, coming out with new products. In the short term, they have been attacked again by a lot of the shorts, including the FDA saying that they're knocking off other drugs, but this is just short-term fear, uncertainty, and doubt. HIMS and Hers Health has a lot of money to fight these lawsuits, and in the short term, let's say worst case scenario, let's say that all these allegations are right, they are copying other drugs. Well, this doesn't break Hims and Hers Health as a company, because let's say they just mimicked one drug, they lose the case. Well, that is just one of many. They have so many different products, and Hims and Hers Health really is going to play a big role within our future, because a lot of individuals do not want to go visit the doctor's office. Hims and Hers Health is perfect for a solution that doesn't require you to go to the doctor. Hims and Hers Health, we have also been in this uptrend. So we have had this rising level of support and resistance, and the rising level of support sits right at the 200-day moving average. And with Hims and Hers today, despite it being a bad day, things are still looking very bullish, because although we did have this big drop down, we are still elevated above the 50-day moving average. So I do believe that we could have another bounce off this 50-day MA, and I do believe that Hims and Hers Health sitting at $53 is a tremendous buying opportunity for anybody that wants to buy the dip in Hims and Hers Health. And Hims and Hers Health, another company that is going to be having their earnings coming up very soon, in just 31 days to kick off November. So I am very excited about all of these plays. In general, risk assets are running up right now, exactly what we expected to happen, and that is because of our friends at the Federal Reserve. As they continue to cut rates, this will help to continue to stimulate the economy and the stock market. I do believe that assets are going to run a lot higher Q4 of this year. But I would be curious to hear what everybody else thinks in the comment section below. I always love to hear from you guys. So please drop a comment. Let me know if you are in QBTS, if you are in AMD, Hims and Hers Health, or if there are any other stocks that you are looking at currently on the markets. Thank you guys so much for being here. Also, please leave a like and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And also, YouTube is not really recommending videos to subscribers as much, so it's really important, if you like these daily talk of stock updates, that you hit the notifications bell and click all notifications. If you do that, you will always be in tune with everything that I am talking about. So thank you all so much, and I will see you in the next video.